Hello and welcome to pmclounge.com. In this quick video, we are going over a topic known as project financing. Now, this topic may have different meanings in different domains. We are specifically focusing on what financing really is when it comes to project management from the perspective of the PMP certification. So I just wanted to make that clear. This topic is part of cost management knowledge area. This is part of one of the articles that we have already done, and the first link in the description is going to take you to that article. Second link in the description is going to be a playlist of all the videos that we have done on cost management knowledge area. That being clear, that being said, let's get started. A quick reminder, please like this video. That seems to be the only way YouTube is going to let you know every time we upload new content. What is this? This is actually a good question to start this topic off. What is project financing? Why are we talking about finance when we are supposed to be talking about project management? So we are talking about this because project financing is actually a tool in the determine budget process. Now, if you're wondering where is this process, let me show you the PGKA mapping, which is the process group and knowledge area mapping. So we are talking about cost management knowledge area. In this knowledge area, under the planning process group, there is a process known as determine budget. And in this process, one of the tools is financing or project financing. So that is the tool that we are talking about today. We have already covered this process in detail. Like I said, first link in the description will take you to an article where we have talked about this process in detail. And it will also have a video that we have done. Since we didn't cover financing, we are creating a separate video on this topic. If you haven't seen the playlist section of the YouTube channel, youtube.com/pmclounge/playlist, this is where the gold is. Check it out. So now that we know the fact that financing is basically a tool in the determine budget process, here's the next question. Isn't the sponsor responsible for money? The answer to that is absolutely yes. The sponsor is the person who ensures that your project is funded, who ensures that money is available for your project. Now, in that case, why should you as a project manager be bothered about project financing? Why should you even study financing? So here's the deal. Not all projects are directly funded by internal sponsors. Now, I want you to take a pause here and think about the project that you're working on right now. Think about the project that you're managing right now. Who is giving you the money, the monetary resources to work on that project? It could be an internal sponsor. It could be the business head of the business unit that you work for or the department that you work for. So the head of that department is basically the one who is providing companies monetary resources for you to work on this project. If you work in a, let's say, a smaller company, it could be the CEO of the company who's basically providing the funds for you to work on the projects and deliver the projects. But not all projects are funded directly by internal sponsors. There is a possibility that you need to go to an external organization and seek funding for your project. Now, this sounds like you are someone who's just started a startup and you are looking for funds, right? But that is not the case. You as a project manager are not really expected to go out on your own and seek funds for your project. Even if that is the case, you will always be accompanied by other team members. You will have your business analyst, you will have your system analyst, you will have, let's say, the leads from design department, from architecture department. And of course, we are talking about a software project right now. So that is the kind of people you are going to work with if you have to visit an external organization for some kind of money or some kind of financing for your project. Now, the external organization here that you're going to visit asking for funding, seeking funding for your project, obviously they are not donating money for your project, right? This is not free service. This is not simply throwing money at your project just because you happen to be a PMP certified project manager. That is not going to be the case. So nobody is going to provide you free money. The external organization that you're visiting to seek funding, they are not donating money. They will have requirements of their own in return of the money that they are going to provide you. Now, what kind of requirements would they have? That would depend on the kind of relationship that this organization is going to have with your project. What could this relationship be? Let's look at it in the next slide. So, the external organization can simply be the sponsor of your project. So, just like in a smaller company, the CEO was going to be your sponsor, there could be an external organization who is the sponsor of your project, because the project's outcome, the product that this project is going to generate, is basically something that the sponsor wants, that the external organization wants. So, for example, the government could be an external organization that acts as a financer or as a sponsor for your project. So let's say you're a construction based company and you've just got a contract for the construction of a bridge, and you are being paid by the government. So the government is obviously an external organization. This is not your typical internal sponsor. The sponsor of the project is the government, which is an external organization, and you are going to construct that bridge, and the product of your project, which is that bridge, is something that you're going to hand over to the government, right? So this could be one relationship that the external sponsor or the external organization is going to have with your project. The other kind of relationship is that the external organization is basically investing money, and they are seeking money in return via profits or shareholding. So let's say you as a project manager, your organization wants to start a new e-commerce website, and the kind of funds required for this e-commerce website is not something that your organization possess. So your team, your project team, some of the key members from your project team, they basically chart out a plan and they go to an external organization for seeking funds for your e-commerce website. If the external organization agrees, they may have certain clauses. So they might give you $1 million, but they want 50% of revenues that you are going to generate from this website, right? So that could be a relationship that the external organization has with your project. So here's the question for this video. Can you think of the pros and cons of having an external sponsor give the money for your project, finance your project? What could be the pros and cons of having an external sponsor versus having an internal sponsor? Can you think of some of the pros and cons of having an internal sponsor? Let me know in the comments. Definitely looking forward to your answers. So that's all that we had in this video. I hope you got value out of it. I hope you were able to understand what project financing is all about. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified every time we upload new content. Also, don't forget to check out the website pnclounge.com, your number one free PMP resource. Thank you.